friends, welcome back to Talk with Evanjali, and here is my prep, and today it looks a little different. There's a book placed on my table, and I have washed and cleaned and washed methi chi bhaji or fenugreek leaves, and so you see them all fresh. And there's tur dal which I have been soaking for an hour, and here there is tamarind, a piece of palm jaggery, and a coin of palm jaggery, and salt. There are 2 green chilies, and there's the masala dabba and the hing dabba. So this is the prep for the mudda bhaji, which comes from the book Patpani, written by my friend Preeti Dev. It's a wonderful book on the regional cuisine of Marathwada. And so I have chosen to make mudda bhaji today because that is something which is not very commonly known in the coastal region, and it's something new, though we do make similar bhajis, but this is very unique because it has tur dal, it has the fenugreek seeds, and that reminds me, I haven't put out the besan over here. So that is an integral part of this bhaji which gives it thickness as well as nuttiness. So let me bring out the besan. So there you see, that is my besnacha dabba, and so let us see what else I have, if there's anything that I have missed out. So I have my methi chi bhaji 1 bundle, tur dal 1 cup, gram flour 2 tablespoons, salt, oil for tempering, mustard seeds, asafoetida, turmeric powder, red chili powder, tamarind pulp, jaggery, all in place. So let's start cooking. So there I have put the cooker on the gas, lighting it up. We will allow it to dry because we need to make the fodni in it. So let us make the fodni. I'm using the oil, a little bit for the first fodni. This is the fodni for the dal, so that it does not harm the tummy and create gases. So smoke the oil and then temper it with mustard seeds and hing. So cut a teaspoon of hing, a teaspoon of mustard seeds, half a teaspoon of haldi, and then we will pour in the dal. Shall we put the methi first? So let's put the methi first. So all the methi has gone in. Give it a bit of a stir. Methi has wilted nicely. Now to this we will add the tur dal which has been soaking for an hour. Let us mix the dal and methi, and then we will close the lid and allow to cook about 3-4 whistles. I have kept water enough just along, the dal, not extra. So the cooker has gone up. This is the 4th whistle, and now I'm going to put it for rice. Now I'm going to take this jaggery, tamarind and salt and put it in the microwave for 30 seconds to extract the juice. So there you see I've added water, about half a vati. It goes in the microwave. So I've put the vati with the katori of tamarind, jaggery and salt to warm up for 30 seconds. So there it's heated for 30 seconds. I'm going to put it out over here and then extract it once it's cool enough to handle. While the cooker is cooling, now let me take 2 tablespoons of besan and microwave it. I'm going to roast it in the microwave because I don't want to use too many utensils for the dal. This will give me a nice roasted besan. I will do it in a short burst so that until the raw smell of the besan is removed. So I'm removing the besan. It still smells raw after 30 seconds. So I'm going to give it a stir and roast it further. So I have roasted in the oven besan for about 2 minutes, and now it smells cooked, or rather roasted. Now this will go into the dal. Smells roasted. You will see there is a change in color also slightly. Keeping it here. The cooker is now cooled, and let us open it. And we will add to it now chili powder and rest of the things. So there we see dal and the methi bhaji nicely cooked. Lovely. It's cooked very well. To this we are adding the besan. And chili powder. So she says, Preeti tells us to add 1 teaspoon of red chili powder. So 1 teaspoon nicely heaped. Let me scrape off the remaining besan. So there. I'm now extracting the tamarind juice, or rather pulp, and also squeezing the jaggery into it, which is molten. So that is our extract that goes into the dal. And now we are going to mix this. So now after mixing we have to cook this a little bit. And then we will add the extra tempering on the top. So Preeti tells us an extra tempering is often added just before serving. So we are going to do that. She has suggested using dry chili for it, but I'm going to use green chilies instead. And so the dal is cooking away nicely. I'm going to reduce it to the simmer, and while it's simmering I will add the extra fodni on top. So now I'm preparing the extra fodni. I have taken a generous 2 tablespoons of oil. Let it smoke. Once it smokes, I'm going to add the mustard seeds. So they are spluttering nicely. Put off the gas. I'm adding the green chilies to it. And this goes into the dal. So there we have that extra fodni. I'm going to mix that fodni into the dal. It smells good. So the dal is done. So today's lunch is ready. I'm about to sit down to eat, and that is my Marathwadi taat. So as you see over here, I have the mudda bhaji cooked from Patpani, the book that my friend Preeti has written, and that is the mudda bhaji in the serving dish, and that's dahi kanda, that is papdya, and in my plate here, in my taat, I have papdya, bhat, mudda bhaji, dahi kanda, खोबऱ्याची लसणाची चटणी and रस्सा वांग. चला जेवायला या, पाटपाणी घ्या. इकडे पाटपाणी नाहीये पण डायनिंग टेबल आहे, या जेवायला. चला. So friends, today I was cooking from Preeti Dev's book, and let me tell you that Preeti has been a very old friend of mine, and of course she lives in the UK, and we connected through my blog, but our friendship has been pretty close, and we have over the years connected over calls and met a few times to seal our friendship. And what I love about her is that she's a very simple girl, and very passionate about food, and her artistry is amazing when it comes to presentation. The effort that she takes to research about food and present it in her own style is very evident in her Ruchira Videshini series, where she's cooked entirely from page 1 to the end from the book Ruchira, and her presentation had her mark absolutely, even though she was making traditional dishes. Coming back to Patpani, there are lots of things which are a favorite from the book, and that you see over here. And what I love about this book is, the newness that she brings to a very traditional Maharashtrian cuisine. Since I am from the coast, there are a few recipes which are new for me too. And it's definitely very interesting that Maharashtra has such a various variation of cooking happening from coast to the arid regions. And yeah, so what you see is the back of the book, and that is the Marathwada region that she's talking about in her book. And some of my favorite recipes from this book are the one that I cooked today, and that is the mudda bhaji, because it's very very unique. And I'm told that mudda bhaji is very famous during weddings and celebrations, and I understand it. It is a very balanced flavor. And then there are other exciting things that I learned from her, is because this book is a culmination of all her cooking that I have watched over the years. And all the pictures in the book are her own. She did not use a professional photographer. These are all her own pictures. And so I have been witness to their creation and presentation on the blog and Facebook and other places. So I have seen how certain things like ukria, that was totally unknown to me. And I was quite fascinated by how they were made. The ukria is a type of a pori that she talks about. Pori is a bread. So it's folded, it is rolled out round and then folded, and then toasted or roasted on the open fire, and that gives it a unique smoky flavor. I'm yet to try that, but it has always fascinated me, and I sometimes wonder how it will taste. So I'm going to try it soon. Then of course she's very popular for her research on Valvarn. Valvarn is the handmade pasta or hand rolled pasta, which she presented in great details on her blog, and then it got viral and it got published in so many newspapers. And obviously for all the lost factor that it had associated with it. Hardly anyone makes Valvan the way it was made in the past. It was so beautiful. You made flowers, you made veni, which is veni is a type of weaving of flowers, which is made into a band, and then that veni is worn in the head. So imagine making pasta like that. It was really beautiful. And maybe I should share pictures of that too. I will take screen caps of a book and share. And then there was other interesting thing. I mean, I had never heard of dangar as a Kokanastha person. So dangar is again powdered grains and dals, and they are mixed with a tempering and curd, and totally unknown in my parts. And so I love it. I love it to have it with bhakri and all the paraphernalia of zhunka and other stuff. Then other favorites are all her chutneys. They are amazing. All the dry chutneys, so typical of Marathwada. Marathwada has always had a wide range of chutneys because they are a arid region. And so that's about the book. And then about Preeti, like I said, she amazes me with her creativity. And also I love her passion, where she goes around in flea markets looking for props, and then she tempts us all with them. And and what else can I share? Yeah, and she's very lucky to have Rajesh and Pranav as support. Pranav helps her with all the technical queries, whereas Rajesh helps her, in the kitchen. He, whenever she is, when she was busy with the book, like it's mentioned in it, that he used to take over all the home duties, which is really sweet of him. And I've met him. I've met Pranav, and I was there for the launch of her book on the Angat Pangat group, along with Sai and Ruchira. It was a fun day that we spent at her uncle's house, and I'm so glad I met her grandmother over there, her maternal grandmother. And after a year or so, she lost her. So I'm glad that someone who features in the book so prominently, I was able to meet and spend the day with her, and we talked to her and asked so many questions. It was a lovely day, and a really fond memory for all of us. And I hope to see more books written by Preeti. The way she studies food is very unique and in depth, and you can expect more from her for sure. I hope you buy this book and support her and try out all the recipes. They are definitely unique, and especially about the Marathwada region. Not much is found in literature, so you should have this book. And once again, I'm just showing you the cover. It's called Patpani. This picture was clicked by Preeti in her London home. So on the back of the book is written, meals taste better when eaten together. Patpani, meaning setting the meal in Marathi, literally takes this idea forward. This is an exploration of family life, customs and rituals within the framework of the regional cuisine of Marathwada region in western India, with memories relived through family anecdotes and vegetarian recipes handed down through generations. The author seeks to capture the unique identity and culinary legacy of a culture that is little known even in its home state of Maharashtra. Very beautifully written, and she has recounted her memories of traveling from Durgapur to Aurangabad, and it's really very vivid, and you relate to the memories so easily, like where she reminisces about her father being left on the station, and the family panicking that whether he's got into the train or not. Haven't we all experienced that sometime in our childhood when we used to travel more often by train? And especially I applaud Preeti's effort in bringing out this book, because she's a girl who has grown up in West Bengal, and I think that gave her more of the outsider view, looking inside, to write this book. And for someone who was not so inclined to cooking, has taken up cooking as a passion, is really fascinating. So wishing Preeti all the best in her all her endeavors, and always trying to make us part of it, which I love being. So Preeti, all the best, and I hope this book sees more popularity as it deserves. Bye.